cover of Ride the Lightning, which Dave went into great detail to tell us in the movie about how he has every right to play it because he wrote it, and you know, he wrote the music and James wrote the lyrics, and this is a showcase of how wonderful they were and blah, 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 blah. Who gives a shit? To me, very average, straightforward cover, and Mustaine clearly doesn't have the right voice for it. Maybe you'll disagree. I don't know. But here it is. It's Ride the Lightning. It is Megadeth. The last thing we're ever going to hear from them, allegedly, recorded. Here we go. No.
It's Dave singing Ride the Lightning.
Yeah. And maybe I'm reading way more into this. And again, I've been fighting with myself thinking I'm such a fan of this band that this is why I hate this so much, because it's not going out awesome. But after all the years of the turmoil between Metallica and Megadeth, for the last song on the last record to be a Metallica song really invalidates the 40 plus years of arguing that we've had to hear. Doesn't it? He should never have done that. Should never have ended with a Metallica song. Even if he wanted to do this song, move it up into the middle somewhere. But doing this as the last thing we're ever going to hear from Megadeth, being a Metallica tune, just says, yep, I never got over the fact that I got kicked out of that band 45 years ago. Do you see it that way?
Yeah, I see it that way in some regard, but then again, I also see it as a tip of the cap to where this is where Megadeth got started. It's because of this that Megadeth became Megadeth.
True, but Megadeth had its own career.
I know
a good career.
But what I'm saying is, it's almost a way of saying that had I not been kicked out of Metallica, there would have been no Megadeth.
Yeah, which might have been a better thing.
True.
I mean, really, it almost invalidates his career. Honestly, look, I'll be the first one to say I almost wish Mustaine would have stayed in Metallica. Can you imagine how heavy those records would have stayed? You know, and I don't think we would have had stuff as weak as Reload. You know, Megadeth's Worst was still heavier than those records. So I don't know. It just feels cheesy to me. Like this song being on here feels like some manager whispering in his ear, dude, this would be a really cool way to end it, man. This would be really cool to tie it all in with the Metallica, and maybe you can work that and spin that into going out on tour with them and the final tour, you know, some bullshit like that. I could see some dumb manager saying stuff like that.
Yeah, just like spark up some interest or something, like due to fan demand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I don't know. That's the Megadeth record. I don't know what you think. I'm thinking I don't ever need to hear any of it but Made to Kill Again. You know, and people are agreeing with you that it's a full circle move. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Jackal. I know that they're releasing some bonus tracks if you buy it at fucking somewhere else. There's like some other track that's like on the Target version only or whatever, but who cares? It's not online, it's not streaming, so it doesn't count. That's the way I look at that.
Yeah.
Pal.
It's not the official release.
Yeah. It's the Target release. You got to go to a special store to get it. But guys like Jim will probably buy this version and the orange splatter version and the fucking Target version and if there's any other versions. I don't know. I just hear this and I'm like, not for me.
Well, again, I just going back to, making the comment about Testament, like if Testament were going out on their final tour and this last record was their, you know, put the exclamation point on their career, that's the way to go out.
Yeah. Yeah, Megadeth could have learned a lot by just hearing the the Testament record. Not that they're retiring anytime soon.
Yeah, I know, but boy.
But I mean, they've been around as long as Megadeth, or almost as long, and they're firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, same genre, thrash metal.
Yeah,
just came out about the same time.
Yeah, they're not giving us a Puppet Parade or Another Bad Day, singing about Chuck Billy losing his teeth along the way or whatever. It's like, dude, stop. Ugh. Oh, I'm fairly disappointed with this. I know you've got the clip over there. Feel free to ring it up. Thank you, because I'm disappointed with this. I definitely wanted more.
Well, when we heard the first two songs that they released, and I was just like, if the rest of the record is like this, it's not going to be a good record.
Yeah, and it isn't.
So it was almost as if it was expected. The first two songs kind of set the tone for what your expectations were, and it's just like, boy, those first two songs not so good.
Yeah, I was hoping for more. As a Megadeth fan, I was hoping for more. I was hoping I'd be listening to this thing for a while, but nope. I'm already done with it. I'll move on to the new Exhumed record or something. I'm done with Megadeth. I wonder, do you think that part of my deal with Megadeth is that I've become friends with Ellefson and it just jades me?
No, I agree with you. I mean, I don't have a jaded view of Megadeth. I mean, I've said it here on the show that I prefer Megadeth over Metallica.
Yeah.
I would listen to Megadeth before I would listen to Metallica. That's just my personal preference.
I would listen to, I'm trying to think. I would have to pick and choose. Like I wouldn't pick anything from Megadeth over Master Puppets. It would be close with Rust in Peace, and there are some days where if I had to choose one or the other, I would choose Rust in Peace. But I mean, maybe I should just listen to the first 4 or 5 records and be done with it. Just listen to From Peace Sells to Euthanasia, and then just pretend the rest doesn't exist. Because I mean, he hasn't done any, like, to me, like a lot of people hate several records. I do hate Risk. One of the things, I'm doing John and Brian's podcast next Thursday, so we made a pact before the show next Thursday that we have to listen to all of the records from Cryptic Writings to this, like none of the good ones, basically, all, so that we could figure out where to put this appropriately, rate this, because it's nowhere near as good as Euthanasia or Countdown or Rust in Peace or Peace Cells or probably even the first album. It's just not as good as those. So I don't want to compare those. But man, I will tell you, listening, I've made it through 4 of the albums so far, one of them being Risk. Wow, is that a bag of shit? How did they get that fucking thing through? How did they think that was good? Even though they were trying to be grungy and all that shit? That is a bad, bad, bad record, man. Just listening to songs like Breadline and stuff. And even World Needs a Hero with Return to Hangar. Yeah, we don't have any ideas, so we'll just grab ideas and just blatantly steal them from other songs. Use the same lyrics and shit. It's like, ugh. That's something Mustaine did on this record, too, on this last note. He's throwing out fucking Metallica song titles are in the lyrics. Like there's some lyric in here that talks about Fade to Black, and there's another one in there about another Metallica song. It's like, dude, come on. Get over it, dick. But whatever.